I never thought my biggest fight with my fiancée would start with her screaming at me about trust, mascara running down her cheeks, and my hands shaking so hard I could barely hold my coffee. We'd been going in circles for hours, accusing, defending, crying, neither one of us willing to back down. I was desperate to convince her I wasn't hiding anything, promising her that the only person I wanted was her, even as doubts flickered behind her eyes. The tension in the air was thick enough to choke on. Then, the front door slammed, and her twin sister stormed in, red-faced and wild-eyed. She didn't hesitate, she looked straight at me and blurted out that it was her, not my fiancé, who'd been climbing into my bed every other weekend. The room spun. My mind rebelled, scrambling to process her words, but deep down, I already knew she was telling the truth. The perfume, the way she kissed, the little differences I'd ignored, I'd chalked them up to mood swings, but there was no denying it anymore. My fiancée's face crumpled as she realized I hadn't noticed the switch, that I'd been too wrapped up in myself to see the woman I claimed to love was being replaced. Her twin's confession was laced with anger and something like triumph, but all I could feel was a sickening mix of guilt and shame. The two of them started shouting at each other, dredging up years of jealousy and rivalry, while I stood there numb, watching everything I thought I had unravel in seconds. It hit me that maybe I'd ignored the signs because I didn't want to face the truth. I was in love with the idea of them, not the reality of either one. Maybe I'd always been too afraid to choose, too desperate for love to notice the cracks. Now, all I could do was watch as the chaos I'd helped create swallowed us whole, realizing that the real betrayal was never just between them, it was my own refusal to see who any of us really were.